So, Zinhle, in many instances, we know that suspects who are found or who are arrested in connection with femicides are usually known to their victims. How much do we know about this suspect?
Indeed, Ayanda, that is the usual situation in these kind of cases. But when we spoke to the family of the deceased just about 2 weeks ago during her funeral, they said that they do not know the suspect and they were not aware of any relations that she might have had with this 40-year-old suspect. So as it stands, because nobody can really tell us the details of this case as it stands, we are not sure if she was indeed in a romantic relationship with him or how exactly did they know each other for this to take place. Like you rightfully said, he is appearing for his bail application today here at the Mogwase Magistrate Court in Mogwase, and we will see what will transpire outside this court. We are expecting some of her family members to come to this court today to oversee the proceedings. We are not sure if the outrage that we saw of her death will be also depicted outside court today. We're not sure if there will be any protesters protesting against the suspect being granted bail today.
And Zinhle, how was the suspect found?
So it's interesting how crime intelligence really tracked him down. Just a few days after her body was found in her apartment here in Mogwase, just before her burial on Saturday, that Friday, we were told that the crime intelligence unit was able to track down the bank card withdrawals from her bank card particularly, and they were traced all the way to Zeerust. That's over about 150 km from here. And we are told that upon the arrest of this 40-year-old suspect, he was found in possession of her cell phone and of her bank card. So as it stands, it seems as though the crime intelligence were really just waiting for him to use her bank card and to do those withdrawals and for them to track him in that regard. So he was arrested just a few days after she was found dead in her apartment.
And Khumontle Mokgosi was a young teacher, I imagine, with all kinds of contributions still to make, not only in her profession, but certainly in her life as well. Take us through how her family, community, and possibly some of her colleagues have responded to the tragic news of her passing in this way.
They were totally devastated. We were told that she's actually an orphan and she was raised by her grandmother. And it was disheartening to see her grandmother weep so much during her funeral because she said Khumontle was her only hope. And she was the one that was supporting her family and her younger brother. So it was very devastating for them to find her in that state or to be told that she had been brutally murdered and found in such a devastating and horrific kind of scene with her hands and her legs tied. As it stands, we're not sure what exactly transpired a few minutes before her death and why exactly were her hands and legs bound. But her colleagues, which are the ones that actually found her in the morning on Monday when she didn't report to work, we understand her school, the school that she teaches in, was just a stone throw away. It was a walking distance away, so she would walk to and fro from school from her apartment. So when she didn't show up on Monday morning, her colleagues knew that this is just not like her. She's so committed to her work. She's so committed to teaching and to her learners. So when they went over to where she lives, that is when they discovered her body in her bedroom. So they were totally shattered. Some people have actually described her as such a humble, quiet, soft person, you know, somebody that would not start an argument, somebody that is so dedicated to academics as well. So this was a big blow to her colleagues at work, to her family mostly, whom relied mostly from.
Devastating news indeed. Zinhle Kanyane is our reporter, live to us from just outside the Mogwase Magistrate Court for us this morning. That's in the northwest. Zinhle, thanks very much indeed.